change in teaching style at Regis, so the kids can see that it's okay to disagree. In our classrooms, we try to reward the faculty member who gives kids an A for taking a position the faculty member doesn't hold. But they have to be able to defend it well, so that they really can learn how to do that kind of polite arguing. Our classrooms then are a model of that disagreement. But Rotary does this too. Have you ever noticed your lunches? Has it struck you that you become friends here with people who just plain have different language from yours, who dramatically disagree with you in politics and worship and interests? What Rotary brings to American society is not just service, but it's a sense that the neighbor in need comes first, and all the places that individual Rotarians disagree can't be allowed to get in the way of your working together to help that neighbor. So you learn to be truly civil, not just polite, but respectful when you find yourselves disagreeing on something with someone who shares the Rotarian insight that service above self comes first. The parallel between a Regis education and the Rotarian approach to life is very real. In both cases, service opens our eyes that people in need come before self. But in both cases, we learn to respect colleagues who share our commitment, but don't share our politics, don't share our religion, don't share our tastes. At Rotary, it's seen in the way people become brothers and sisters around that lunch table, as they refuse to let their differences become an excuse to stop serving together. At Regis, it's seen in a deliberate modeling in the classroom of the respectful disagreement that changes the culture of the student and makes it possible for that student to learn from his neighbor. You know, Rotary has always had lots of members from Jesuit University. There are already many Regis alums among you. I don't have to look farther than the entire aggregation at this family table right here. I suspect that as time goes by, you'll find more and more Regis people feeling especially at home in Rotary. Your values and what we're trying to teach our students really are the same. Now, that's what I have to say. I think there's time for a little bit of questions. And so if anybody has something, have it. Will women ever be priests? I'm sure, but not in my church. And the solution to that, by the way, I may as well get that out of the way, because David Trickett wants to ask. David Trickett wants to ask that about women and priests, and so my solution is, since women aren't going to be priests, I think we can solve the problem by giving them power. We'll just make them cardinals. Over here, please.
I think it was 25 or 30 years ago, my friend Doug Tisdale and I were arguing a case in front of the judge, and he called my argument Jesuitical. Was that a compliment or not?
I'm afraid it was not. The term Jesuit is an adjective that is the complementary adjective. And what Doug Tisdale was doing was saying, you are as sneaky as Machiavelli wearing a Roman collar. That has been the Jesuit that you would find in all the plays of the 17th and 18th century. Jesuits are the official, original eminence grise with the cloak and the hand up here. And unfortunately, we've never been able to match them in modern times.
I'm sure I won the argument.
I'm sure you did, yes.
What is the percentage of other than Catholics students that attend your college?
Question was what percentage?
And also, do you have a
Okay. What percentage of our students are not Catholic, and do we have international students coming? Answer, doctor, is as far as Regis College goes, our enrollment is about 65% Catholic. As far as the other schools go, we don't know. And it's pretty obvious that it is much less than that 65%. We don't use religion as an entry standard. And what we want to do in the Jesuit tradition, I know it drives bishops batty, but if you're a Baptist, we want you to leave our place a better Baptist. Because we're there to challenge you to think about what you believe and to deepen your commitment in the process. So we tend to be very much a church of all nations in that sense. As far as do we have foreign students coming, yes we do. And what we're doing right now is an experiment that, hint, hint, we're looking for money for. We've found a way to do a good job of teaching master's level programs in Africa and other third world settings. We just, with our own money, done a program for 6 people in Nairobi, Kenya, in a little school, all of whom had kind of weak bachelor's degrees. We put them in the MBA in the IT program, and they have now 5 of the 6 have been able to complete. And the nice thing about it is that they don't ever leave their home country. They continue to teach in their school, but they get a much, much stronger American education out of this. And they don't have to be uprooted and then have the problem that they come to the States and they like it and they try and stay. So we have opportunities to expand this all over Africa. And what we're looking for now is foundation money that will help us to do this sort of thing now that we've had pilots and demonstrated how well it works. We have students, of course, from foreign countries who come to us in various programs, sometimes a specialty program, for example, an MBA that we do for people from China. And sometimes we do things by online education. We're the largest Catholic sponsored institution in online education in the country. Sir?
What percent of your students study abroad during your 4-year curriculum?
Good question. What percent of our students study abroad during the 4-year curriculum? The traditional study abroad in Europe is fairly small percentage. I'd say 10 to 15%. The number of people who go abroad to serve, on the other hand, is very sizable. And there you'd be dealing with 35 to 40% of the student body. So many of our healthcare students in what was at Loretto Heights School of Nursing, they go to Africa when the last scare hit from China. Our students were just coming back from there, and we had to quarantine them. Anybody who had a cold had to be watched for a week. We go to Vietnam, and then all over Central America. Our physical therapy students get training going to Central America and working with people who can be taught how to get the right kind of remedial exercise in these backwoods clinics. So we do both of those. As far as sending more people to Europe, there's some virtues there, but I think if anything, our tendency now is more towards going to the third world. Sir? Sure. The question is, what's the relative value of getting these undergraduate and graduate degrees? And the general thing is still, if you just do the economics, that people